Ladies and gentlemen, His Excellency, distinguished participants. First, I would like, on behalf of Lebanese government, to thank the Brazilian government for hosting this appreciated conference and for their invitation. Attention and care given to labor issues, workers, and relevant legislation should not be limited to adult workers or to mediation in disputes between employers and workers or regulating of the migrant labor force. It should rather be much more comprehensive and wider in scope, as these issues involve further elements, details, and approaches. Social justice cannot be reached by only ensuring decent work for male and female workers, or by promoting and implementing the fundamental principles and rights at work, unless another more noble goal is achieved, which is the elimination of child labor in all its forms, namely its worst forms. When Lebanon ratified international and Arab conventions related to children, namely for combating child labor, it wasn't a coincidence, but a commitment to the respect of human rights based on Lebanon's extensive culture of such rights. Ever since its establishment, the Lebanese Ministry of Labor gave this issue special attention based on the fact that each child or youth committing an act detrimental to her upbringing and morals is a disgrace for whoever is in charge of providing decent work conditions. How can a work be decent if the worker is a child or youth exploited at so many levels? How can we reconcile between the requirements of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and the dignity and rights of working youth or children, namely in light of the harsh working conditions that affect the core of human values and children's rights for a healthy upbringing? We followed this path and launched the slogan, "Together towards a society free from the worst forms of child labor, but one which ensures an equal opportunity for formal and informal education for all its children." This is especially true when Lebanon's history is full of famous writers, intellectuals, doctors, teachers, and highly skilled laborers, and not of children falling in the cycle of poverty and very hazardous form of labor. This is not to mention the unconditional forms that we are witnessing and that we are certainly not accepting, and will do our best to fight as a government, as a people, and as a civil society at large level. All Lebanese unite that all worst forms of child labor are unacceptable, and their fight should be with a united front, both at grassroots as well as policy-making levels, using all resources of the state and the civil society at large. The Ministry of Labor, or different and relevant ministries such as the Ministry of Social Affairs, Education, Interior, Justice, have strived and still are striving to give this issue the priority it deserves, based on the provisions of two international labor conventions, 138 and 182. 138, the minimum age for admission to employment, and 182 on the worst form of child labor. This is not to mention that Lebanon is struggling to ensure the basic rights of all children on Lebanese grounds based on the UNCRC Convention, of which Lebanon was one of the first countries to believe in and ratify in 1991. Committed to applying these international conventions and under very pressing socio-economic and political circumstances, nationally and regionally, Lebanon, with its government and parliament, has taken many concrete steps towards reaching this very difficult but not impossible goal, the elimination of the worst form of child labor. In 2005, the Lebanese government endorsed the first national strategy against child labor in the country. This was soon reflected in Lebanon's national reform strategy and social action plan, where child labor was for the first time presented in an international donors conference on child labor, Paris 3, in 2007. Consecutively, and for the first time in Lebanon's history, consecutive governments, starting from that of 2009, echoed the need to tackle child labor, specifically in the respective governmental declaration and thereafter action and programs. Sorry, I have to announce a very important, just half a minute. For status today, sorry, I'm very sorry. Today, we have just completed our national strategy for the elimination of child labor by 2016, in line with our commitment to the Hague Roadmap. This national action plan is a pragmatic translation of the national strategy endorsed in 2005. We are proud to announce to you as a government and as a people that this plan will be officially launched by the President of the Republic of Lebanon, His Excellency General Michel Sleiman, in the presence of high-level national and regional officials, and more important, the working children themselves. Those from the national podium, a virtual podium launched by the Ministry of Labor and established by a Lebanese NGO, whereby working children speak their sorrows and share their dreams and find someone to listen and act on them. They will not just be attending, but be addressing a speech to side by side with the government as a sincere sign for partnership and participation, and not just as subject for discussion. This is the way it should be, hand in hand, children and policymakers, national experience and culture merged with international standards and expertise. Thank you for listening.
Muito obrigado.